The good news is when we did War of the Roses / To Catch a Cheater last week is that he wasn't cheating on his wife unless he's cheating on his wife with his sister. Well, that takes us to a totally different level. But I'm pretty sure that wasn't it.
All right, so she was curious as to what was going on in her marriage because her husband was seemingly distant lately, and he also missed her birthday. Now, he kind of was distant at times before because of work, but he's never missed a really big event, and normally he comes through with the gifts, and he makes her feel really special, so she felt like something was really going on in the fact that he would just completely miss her birthday, not even mention it, and still hadn't mentioned it even at the point that she was talking to us. So she wanted us to do War of the Roses, and we did, to see where he would send the roses if there was another woman, and he sent them to, I believe her name was Joanne. He picked, I wet my plants, I believe it was. Wow. That's a good memory, right?
Yeah.
And he sent them to Joanne, who was not his wife, but at the same time, the message said, "Happy birthday, sis." So it appears he was sending them to his sister. So he's not cheating, but at the same time, he remembered his sister's birthday, not his wife's.
And they were scheduled for 2 weeks to be delivered 2 weeks from that date. Like, it wasn't going to get delivered that weekend. He was scheduled ahead. He thought, my sister's birthday is in 2 weeks. Didn't remember he forgot his wife's like a week before.
So his wife told us that he has been acting strange anyway. He's just kind of like been absent physically, emotionally, and the fact that he completely forgot her birthday really, really hurt and really had her thinking this dude's cheating.
Right.
Yep.
Cash, you look like you have something to say.
No.
Okay.
Just engaged, just engrossed in what you guys are saying. I feel like I'm watching a tennis match sometimes from where I sit, because I look to the right for Bert, then I look to the left for Davi, then to Mo, and then to Kristen. So if you see my head whipping around, it's just because you guys are interesting.
Except the difference is you're actually on the court. You're playing in the game.
I'm like the ball boy. I run in when necessary. This is one of the times when the ump's like, get out.
All right, so the email, the update goes like this. Upmail. I think I like that.
Upmail.
It's update and it's an email. Upmail.
Make 7 up yours. Remember that?
The what?
When 7-Up slogan was "Make 7 up yours."
I don't.
You don't remember that?
No, but it sounds like it would have been funny.
It was funny. You should have been there. It was great.
Here's the email update. I know it has only been a few days since I spoke to you, but it honestly seems like it's been a month. In just a few days, my world has turned upside down. I basically confronted him. I mean, I wasn't confronting him for cheating because we know that's not what he was doing. I confronted him about being completely absent and about completely missing my birthday. I asked what's been going on and why he seems so distant. Then I came clean and I told him what I did and how I asked you guys to test him. I told him that I knew he remembered his sister's birthday, but not mine. I expected him to be angry about me contacting you guys. I think that's why I told him. I wanted to see some level of concern and passion from him. I wanted to see anything, even if it was anger. She says, I got nothing. So I cried. I couldn't help it. I don't know what's going on. Then when he told me that he just doesn't have feelings for me anymore, I was devastated. He said that he feels bored with our marriage.
Oh, man.
And he can't explain why. He said he's not seen anybody else and that he would never do that. He simply just isn't in love with me anymore. Now, these might be two totally different things. We'll get into that in a second. He doesn't seem to have feelings, and he feels like he's hit a bit of a depression about it. After several hours of talking, he finally came out and said he thinks he wants to separate. My head won't stop spinning. My stomach has been in knots, and the tears won't stop. I just don't understand. How does this happen? Does this happen? Is it possible for your marriage to end when nothing caused it? We don't fight, and, well, that could be a problem. And there haven't been many significant issues other than this recent period of neglect. I feel blindsided. What should I do? Do I have a chance, or do I have a choice but to give him what he wants? I don't want to separate, and I don't want to divorce, but I don't know how to change his mind and make him love me again. From Dina. All right, well, the first thing that you should have done, if you haven't already, is called a marital therapist. All right, that's the first thing you do, a marriage counselor. Because, look, that flame is gone after a couple of years in most cases. You know, it's so intoxicating. scientists tell us that the science going on in your body, the chemicals in your body when you first meet somebody and you're in that initial phase are different, and those chemicals just fade away. So here you are, and I think this is a pretty common story, in a marriage for a couple of years, and it just gets so mundane, right? If you're not working on it all the time. So he just may be mistaking me not loving you anymore for me just like feeling like blah, like this is it. Cassie?
There's a lot going on here. First of all, it does sound like he has some depression, so he needs to go see somebody to take care of that because maybe that's the root cause of everything. Secondly, it sounds like he should have had this conversation way earlier and that they both need to invest in each other more because he also checked out. He forgot to celebrate his wife's birthday at the end of the day, so he stopped trying as well. So they both need to step up to the table and start flirting again. Like, that's a big problem is people, once they get married and they get comfortable, they stop flirting like they did when they first started dating. They stop doing little things like picking up, oh, here's your favorite candy bar. I was at the store. I thought about you. Like little touches and tokens like that. And that shows somebody that you care about them and you're thinking about them. And there are little tweaks you can do.
So I'm the only one on the show that's been through a divorce. So this feels very familiar to me. And I was with my ex for 20 years. And at some point or another, and I can't pinpoint exactly where it happened, but she starts living her life. I start living my life, and it becomes more about the kids, and we're not connecting nearly as much. And before you know it, you're just lost, man. Like, it's not there anymore. So you try to get counseling, or I tried to get counseling. We tried to get counseling, and you can be married but feel so alone. And I felt so alone, and I think she felt so alone. And I'm not pointing a finger. I'm saying it was both of our fault, but it happened. And by the time I tried to correct it, or by the time I think we tried to correct it and got our egos aside, for us, it was too late, that the feelings really were gone. In this case, it may not be, but I firmly believe that if you are going to get a divorce, I don't know if they have kids or not. Do you remember them saying anything about that? Right. I guess it's inconsequential. My advice to you is if you are going to leave your marriage, you have to give 230% all the way in so you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is a person I said I was going to be with for the rest of my life. So you owe it to each other to give everything before you can cleanly walk out the door and say, I just had nothing in the tank, and I was lying to her and I was lying to myself, and life is short.
Yeah. I feel like some space might actually be good for them because you can speculate on what's actually going on and what he's dealing with, but I don't think he's really going to know until he kind of takes some space, because if maybe they do need some counseling and things to be good, but if his desire is completely gone, like that's not going to do anything. If he simply doesn't want to be there, it's not going to help.
I just don't think he knows yet. I agree with you. I just don't think he knows yet, you know? So, all right. Man, that sucks. God, I just feel that email because I felt all that when I was going through that.
And it sucks that it's not that they both feel the same way. She still wants to be in it. Yeah. And I think that is especially hard when you have one partner checked out and one who still wants to be in.
Go to counseling like yesterday. Like yesterday, it can help.
The Bert Show.